All right. I think we're live now. Let's see what's going on. Hey, Rich. Happy Sunday. All right. So, starting off on this Jubilee Commission, this is MCCW blank PSC. That's the pencil prelim. So, transfer to the card. And I'm just going to dive right in. Because she's going to have all the glowing energy crackle stuff here. It is going to be heavily lit from the right, or my right, her left. So I'm going to do a warm wash over the whole piece in watercolor. So let me just wet the paper. Hopefully I don't get too much bleed from the blue pencil. Something weird's going on. I don't know if it's the paper or my brush or the water's dirty. But there's some very strange marks being left behind. What is going on? That's not cool. Okay, well, that is very interesting. I've never seen that before. Huh. It's got to be the paper. It's a brand new brush, so there's no way there's anything on it. Okay. So I left my cheap watercolors at home. So today I'm using a little Winsor Newton Carry palette, which is great. Really nice pigmented colors. There's definitely something up with the paper. That's not cool. Warner, if you're watching this, heads up, there's something very strange going on here. I'll hit it with the blow dryer in a minute. Hopefully it'll dry more or less even. I'm gonna wrap it up in acrylic, so I'm not too worried about it. But if this is the way this is going to behave with watercolor, I need to make note of that. All right, just going to mute myself for a second while I hit it with the blow dryer. Don't want to blow out everyone's ears. And we're back. Let me just dab it a little bit with some toilet paper, Kleenex. Huh. That was interesting. The water's clean. I don't understand what's happening. Huh. All right. All right. So base colors on Jubilee. Her hair is black. It's going to have a blue base. Glasses are pink. Her top is pink. Her jacket's yellow. Skin tone. Red earrings. Gloves are blue. So what I'm going to do now is still in watercolor. Hopefully this isn't going to cause me any issues. Really worried about the way this has been behaving on the first wash. Do a water-based base. So we'll start off with the glove. Yeah, it's not really coming in blue. At least it's blending, so I'll take it. I don't know how I feel about this. I'll try a darker blue on her hair. You can see here on the tuss paper the pigment that it has. Okay, this is coming down a lot easier. Hey, Katie. What's going on, buddy? Hey, happy wife, happy life. Whatever baby wants, baby gets. That's at least the way it works in my house. Happy wife, even more broke life. Yeah, that's true. That's another way to put it. Yeah, I know the feeling, my friend. Okay, I use this blue to Yeah, do her eyebrows too. Not sure what her eye color is, but at this point it's not going to matter. I just want to define the shape. All right, so let's do a yellow for the jacket. That should be nice and bright. Like, I'm gonna go over this thing too because I'm gonna paint that in red after. So there's no harm in having a yellow undertone. Try to leave some of the bubbles I drew in unpainted. It'll just make it easier to identify them later. I could always look at my original sketch as to where I put them, but if they're there, why not keep them? Veil is blending much better with the base orange, so that's good. All right, pink. That's red. This is a time where red's easy to work with because if you want pink, you just throw in some white. It's when you want a light red where it becomes a problem. There we go. That's pink. Yeah, there's definitely something up with the paper because that first wash was really messy, but now that I'm going over a second wash over the dry paint, it's really taking on a nicer, even spread. So must have been the paper, or it must be the paper. Oh, try to maybe pump up the shirt a little more. by mixing white in the paint, it makes it a little bit less transparent because white is opaque. It's a great way to get these nice pastel colors. Not so much if you don't want the pastel colors. All right, so I'm going to do a base on the skin tone. And for skin, I like to mix red. So there's an orange. I'm going to throw some yellow in there. Oh, that's too much. It's getting more orangey. And then hit it with some white. You can also throw some blue in there if you want to add some warmth. To tone down some of the warmth. But because she's going to have this strong light source off to the side, I don't really want any. It's still too peachy. There's some more red in there. Okay, that's looking better. This is going to look a little dark to start with, but I'm going to work backwards on the skin and just pick up the highlights. So this should work. I mean, if it doesn't, I'll just paint over it again, but try to stay out of the eye. The rest of the face doesn't matter. Peachy, literally. Might be a little dark, but let me dry it and see what it looks like. I can always go lighter once I hit it with acrylics. I'm just going to mute myself for a minute and blow dry her. Okay. Just dab it with some tissue. Yeah, it's nice and dry. Let's see if there's anything else I want to do with watercolor before I move to paint, or big boy paints. Let's see some pictures of our pink glasses, yellow. That's pretty much it. Pretty defined color palette, or pretty simple color palette. See, our earrings are teal in some images. That would actually be Let's see some other ones. Be nice to throw in a blue to tie in. Sorry, blue to tie in the rest of the costume. So maybe we'll do that. Yeah, there's all kinds of variations. What's this one? Gold, pink. And I think we're going with the animated series look, so they would be red. Hey, Rodney. How's it going, buddy? Hope you had a good show. Okay, if you're around and you want to hop on, let me know. I don't think I saw you stream this morning, so actually thought you were still at that show from the Beach Boys song. The Copacabana show. Ah, you got home last night. All right, cool. Coloring in Photoshop. And see how the warmth from the yellow underpainting is really popping through. It's making the red orange. Just basically what I wanted. I'll color her lips. Yeah, she's red lips too. So let's add a little bit of color to the lips. This tip on this brush is fraying. Well, I hope the show was productive, Rodney. Fruitful and all that. Shoot, I just dropped my paint on the floor. That's fantastic. Background music got very soft. Let's try the next track. So who's everyone's favorite X-Men? Jubilee's eye color. Let's see what her eye color really is. Analyze country, creator, affiliation, physical characteristics, female, brown eyes. Oh, that's different. Expected green or blue. Brown-eyed girl. All right, we can do that. I'm gonna find the eyelashes a little bit in the brown as well. Just to add some color in eyebrows as well. This part will likely get fully covered by hair, but it's nice to have a hint of what's underneath. That way, if the paint it doesn't get 100% coverage in some parts, you can still see a little bit of the underdrawing show through. Hard to say. Visually, I'd like to draw Nightcrawler and Colossus. I haven't read them in years. Oh, yeah, Nightcrawler is a good one. He's fun to, or I imagine he's fun to draw. I haven't really done Nightcrawler, so can't say I love doing Colossus. It's too much shiny. I like doing Cable though. You get that metal banding, you get the metal look, but you don't have to do a full figure. Just do the one arm. So that would be my choice. All right, let's do a little bit of form on the glasses. It's really like that pink. That's really going to be my mid-tone for the glasses. So because she's lit this way, I just want to bring out the darker areas, which are going to be kind of red. Maybe too strong of a red. Just the areas that are in shadow. That rim's going to be a highlight, but there should be a shadow being cast from the rim from the bottom. Do a rim there. And this should cast a rim. No, the rim should cast a shadow as well. That's going to be all highlight. And actually, this part should be probably dark because the hair would cast a shadow. The gradient here. Yeah, I can see Cable. He's fun to draw. I love detail. He's a good one for that. And Colossus, of course. Of course. Colossus. He's shiny. Live deck about possibility of Nightcrawler and the shadows in his face and hair. Yeah, I mean, you know me. I like doing a creature. But honestly, I haven't really done Nightcrawler. It's a nice, kind of think about it, it's kind of a nice blend between Spider-Man and Venom. In terms of how to approach him. Try to create a bit of a reflection here. I'd be interested in you tackling him sometime. Yeah, me too. I've been tinkering with my airbrush kind of like every night this week, trying to get it to do what I want it to do. And I think I'm almost there. Just a matter of practicing the trigger control to get the pressure and opacity controls exactly the way I want them before I apply it to a real piece. Because there's a piece that I need to finish that's got some misty like texture, which is what I'm trying to achieve with the airbrush. But I think once I get a handle on the airbrush, it'd be good to do, or hopefully if I get a handle on the airbrush, it's going to be a good tool to use for smoke and poofs. So Nightcrawler would be a perfect candidate for an experiment with doing smoke with the airbrush. Add a touch of blue to the mix here to really make this red more of a purple. Aaron's calling. All right, man. Well, enjoy the rest of the day. Should you get your errands done. I'll catch up with you later. Times of 12:47. So I'll be on for 1:30, 2:30, probably for another 2 hours. We'll see how far I can take this. Actually, starting to have some concerns about using this paint. Let me look this up quickly. Insert mutant travel palette. See, it says watercolor. But I have a feeling this is gouache. Nope, it says watercolor. So my concern with this actually being gouache is that if I go over it with acrylic, it might reactivate and bleed out. But it does say that it's watercolor. I guess the easiest way to find out is let's find a spot that doesn't matter if it gets messed up and bleed it out and see. Yep, it's gouache. Balls. I vaguely remember learning this lesson now on that Phoenix portrait I did a while back that I started off on watercolor. Oh, 1 second. All right, I'm back. So the reason I'm concerned whether this is really watercolor or gouache is that gouache gets reactivated when you wet it. Watercolor shouldn't. It's just a matter of knowing what medium I'm working with to know how to handle it. mean, it's not the end of the world if even if it is really is gouache, but it'd just be nice to know. Yeah, so let's block in some shadows. Where is this? Okay, let's do some shadows on her shirt. I might actually just try to do this whole thing in watercolor or gouache, whatever it is that I'm using now. I mean, aside from the initial wash, which was a little emotional, it's really taking well to the paper. See if the person who commissioned it is okay with it. Let's get some. While that's drying, gonna do some shadows and detail on her glove in a dark blue. Again, using this #1 brush. #1. See, I don't mind using watercolors or gouache, whatever this is. But it's a medium where the paper that you're working on makes a huge difference. So, like watercolor on general sketch cards is very risky because it's not the best stock. So, that might be too loud. Um, it's not the best stock, so you kind of don't know how it's going to react. You might end up having to do more work that you bargained for. I guess it also depends on the look you're going for. So, afternoon, Kevin. Got a little oddball X-Men action going on. So I don't think Jubilee really falls under the oddball X-Men category. It's pretty well known. Judging by your avatar, I would say you're a bit of a fan of the sparkly fingered girl here. Love sparkles. I thought Venomized Sexy Aunt May was next. Yeah, it's the next on the wish list, but I'd rather yeah, gotta do some get some commissions done in between too. Can't do all Venoms all the time. I think the wait time on commissions from my end is long enough as it is. If I started to do every goofy brain fart idea I had, I'd never get any of these done. Colors are coming together well here. Yeah, I can say I'm still like I'm working in watercolor, potentially gouache right now. I'm not convinced that it is really watercolor, but I might finish her off in this medium. We'll see how things behave. Plan was to do a watercolor base just to get nice, soft, even blends, and then build out an acrylic. But and you missed it earlier. I'm a little concerned that these watercolors are actually gouache, which means that they're going to reactivate when I get them wet. But we'll see. We'll find out soon, anyways. That's 55 minutes in. Okay. It is moving along pretty well, though, I have to say. And you guys have seen my stream, so you know how slow I work. No, thanks, Kevin. I know you like the um, you like that softer color, watercolor look. One second here. Got Amazon delivery apparently. We got delivered. Is it hard to get definition using watercolor? No, it's just a different approach because watercolors are transparent by nature. So you just have to do more layers. But as saying before, one of the biggest things about using watercolor is making sure you're using quality paper. And unfortunately, the paper on sketch cards isn't really great. So you're kind of struggling with the limitations of the paper as well as the transparent nature of the watercolors where you have to build out layers and keep everything nice and wet all the time. And because you have to keep everything nice and wet all the time, this is where really the quality of the paper comes into play, because a lot of paper just starts to fall apart as it gets wet. So I guess, yeah, it is a little harder to get definition because you can't abuse it as much as other papers. On watercolor paper or like nice thick, a nice thick paper with tooth, you can get really good definition, really good detail. I mean, look at Alex Ross. He works in gouache, but it's it's just a opaque cousin of watercolor. All right, let's work a little bit on the shadows on her jacket. Then I'm gonna stretch my legs, let it dry naturally for a bit. I'll just hit it with the blow dryer and we'll see where we go. All right, so for shadows, I'm just going to use some brown mixed in with the yellow. If it doesn't get overly pigmented. Do want to keep it nice and soft. All right, so definitely a shadow behind her head. Shadow behind the earrings. Light's coming this way, so the top lip of the jacket's going to be in shadow. Shadow being cast here from the collar. This should all be in shadow. Try to give it kind of a little bit of that bomber jacket feel where these little poofy pockets have form. Hey, Matt. Yeah, this is a card size on this one. Got a couple of cards to do, and then a 5x7 shortly after. Or I gotta check my list, but I think I have 3 sketch cards, and then a 5x7, and then a sketch cover. So yeah, different sizes. But I've said before, I think I'm done doing full figures on sketch cards. I'll be like waist up at best. Just can't get the amount of detail I want on a full figure on a sketch card size. I think shadow is one of, if not the thing artists miss or do incorrectly most often. Yeah, shadows are hard, but it's what defines form, right? So you can take I want to say crap drawing, but not so refined base drawing, and really make it better by getting the shadows right because you're creating the proper forms. But you can also ruin a good drawing by messing up the shadows. This is why I think reference is very important for lighting. Like doing sci-fi stuff, fantasy stuff, superheroes, trolls, whatever. Like anything like that, there's no defined anatomy, right? Like you can really get away with stylizing the figure and the drawing. And this is just my opinion, right? For whatever it's worth. But a good color job or paint job will really make something stand out. But at the same time, a bad color job or paint job can really ruin something. Like I did one card yesterday that the paint, I don't know if it's the surface or the humidity in the air or whatever, the paint just wasn't taking well to the card, and it's kind of rough. I don't know if I can salvage it, so I might just submit it as is. It's not a commission, it's for a set. You know, other people may think it looks cool. For me, it's just not what I had in my mind. So, and I've talked about this before, where artists just kind of get stuck in their own head because they're trying to achieve something, and then it's not coming out the way that they envisioned it, and you don't like it. But then somebody else looks at it, and they're just looking at it with virgin eyes, not knowing what you had in your head. So, and they're like, "Oh, this is great. I don't know why you don't like it." So, I'm hoping that'll be the case on that one. If not, oh well, they can't all be bangers. Sorry. Are all the pieces you have to work on APs besides the 5x7? No, like this is a PSC. I have one more PSC to do. I have a couple of PSCs to do if I remember off the top of my head on the list. They're not all APs. Not everybody's after licensed stock. So It's a mix. I just keep two production schedules, if you will, for licensed and unlicensed stuff. Just because licensed stuff I can't work on stream, so there's always something licensed happening in the background as I'm working on something not licensed. Bangers, all bangers, bangers and mash. Speaking of bangers, Eugene, I think, is up for his commission soon. I don't think he ever hops on the streams, but maybe he will if it's something of his. I'm not sure what he's getting at. I know I circled back with him not too long ago, let him know that it's almost his turn. So he's gonna decide what he wants a little closer. What else do I have? I have a Lobo one, which is DC. That's in an oversized DC blank topper. I'm not sure what they're called. They're 3.5 by 5. So that one's going to be fun. That's for someone else. That one's not licensed, so I'll be working on that on stream after this one, actually. Not today, but that's kind of the next live drawing piece. And after that, I think it's Venom versus Spider-Man 5x7. Oh, looks like we got some more eyeballs. Who else is in the chat? Shout out. Speak your name, please. Oh, I saw that tomorrow's Unbound card is that Jean Grey, the cover image. That should sell out super fast. I have to get a couple of those as well. Wouldn't mind a gold sig of that one. Just buy one, you'll get a signature. You got the golden touch, yeah. Well, I ended up buying 4 Iron Man. I didn't get anything. Well, not anything, I just got the 4 cards, but I want to stop buying multiple packs and just buy like for most weeks, but when it's something like Jean Grey or like or Iron Man or one of the highly sought after characters, get a few more, and then that'll just give me trade bait for later on. Yeah, I'm out of the gold race, Matt. The gold sig race. I sold all my gold sigs. Then I got a Hulk gold sig, which I'm gonna, I guess, put that up for sale tomorrow. I just want to base that and the achievements. So I have plenty of trade fodder. Um, so I'm just gonna, well, I'll get 3 packs tomorrow on Gene if I can, and then hopefully that's it for the really really cool cards for a bit. Unless they do a Venom, I have to get a bunch of Venoms, Wolverine, stuff like that. Yeah, I've seen the Matt. I agree. I've seen a few people say that the quality of the cards in hand isn't that great. Um, I really like Fred Ian's work, so or Fred and Ian's work. So if nothing else, just to support him would be cool. If I ever meet him, get him to do maybe some silver autos on them, or just get the whole set and sell it for a quarter of the price because I'm sure it's going to be devalued real fast once all the redemptions are out. But it seems for every person that's leaving the race, there's one coming. Yeah, the cap is going to be cool, and yeah, there's a cap versus Iron Man. That for sure, that's going to be an achievement. My guess is that that's going to be that might be the last one. But I was surprised that there was no Captain America card, and so I'm sure the guys at Upper Deck know what they're doing. But just seems like they missed a couple of key characters that, or staple characters that are basically in every set. Carnage, Captain America, Cyclops, Cable, whatever. Oh, you've seen it. Okay, I've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. I definitely need to stretch my legs because my knees are starting to go numb and I need to get a new chair. But yeah, I'll be. Whoa, this is not good music. Let's go back to this one. Um, yeah, quite a few weeks ago. All right, I'll be back in a few minutes. Let this dry, air dry for a bit, and then I'll just hit it with the blow dryer and see what's up. But I'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay. Ow. Okay, I'm gonna hit it with the blow dart. One sec. Okay. It's time to make a decision here. I think I'm just going to do the shadows on her face in watercolor to keep the softness. And then switch to acrylic. And if for some reason I don't like the way this looks, I'll go over the skin tones with acrylic as well. That should be full light. Should be a cast shadow on her neckline from the collar. And the shadow, her chin cast, should be the strongest. It's basically, if this area is going to be the lightest, this area is going to be the darkest. It's just yin yang, really. that dry. All right. Darken that even more. Using a blow dryer really does help speed up the process. A lot makes a big difference with watercolors or really heavy water-based stuff. Acrylic dries pretty quick, but it does also save some time being able to just dry off an area to make sure you don't overwork it and start peeling the paint. Should be a bit of a shadow here and a little bit of a shadow here from her cheeks. All right, let's put the watercolors away. Enough of that. And let's get the acrylics. All right, so let's see. It's going to start off with really building up the values on the saturation on her jacket. So I'm going to do that with some yellow. I'm going to throw in a little burnt umber in the mix for the shadows, just in case I need it. I'll have it ready. Where's my rag? There's my rag. So yellow and burnt umber. This is bright yellow. Yeah, that's the one I want. Not daffodil yellow. That one's really neon-y. Might use that a little bit for highlights. But at this point, I just want to do an acrylic seal over the whole thing. It's going to be a little bit more pigmented, a little bit more saturated. apparently with a little bit of dust. Let's get rid of that little piece from there. There we go. I'm using a very watered down mix, but you can see it's really making the color pop more. Because I'm just adding a light yellow glaze to the whole thing. There should actually be a hint of her collar back here, which I missed. It's going to get blown out with the highlights, but there should be yellow here. Let that dry. And while that's drying, let's using my favorite Copenhagen blue and tropical blue, which is a light blue. I'm going to do the same thing on the glove. I'm going to go darker with the glove and then pick up the highlights with the lighter blue. Apparently looks like I'm using a really abused chisel brush that doesn't really have much shape left to it. It's okay for now. Okay, let that sit for a bit. Pink is going to be a touch of red mixed with white. So same thing, just mix the color and do a wash. Let me see if I have a flat brush that I can use because that one's hurting me. Oh, here we go. That should be better. So that's just red. Throw some white in and really make it pink. Just nicer coverage. What up to the music? What's going on with the music? All right, so we start over. Okay, I'm going to throw a touch of blue in my mix to create a bit of a purple. And bring out the shadows. Okay, let that dry. I'm going to bring some more oomph to her jacket, so I'm going to do another layer of yellow. Touching more of the highlights, not so much in the darks. While it's still all wet, hit it again. Just gonna give these guys some color for now, just so I don't lose them. We'll add more sparkly effects at the end. And I bring in the white. Oh, not so much of an ugly stage on this one because of the watercolor base, right? So, because the watercolor, I use the watercolors, they blend a lot better. It doesn't really get much of a ugly stage. I could mess it up for you if you'd like. If you just really want to see an ugly stage, I'd rather not, but I could. Start bringing some highlights. These are going to be brighter highlights on the jacket. Um, not so much on this side, more here. But I'm doing this now with kind of like a mid light, which is going to essentially help me determine if I need to darken the shadows on the jacket. See if I have enough contrast. And I think I have enough. So, well, I'm going out of focus. Where's the little brush? Where's that little bugger? There he is. Where's it? Two. Don't think she's going to get done today, but it's going to be very close. Yep. Definitely to darken the shadows on her jacket, on her sweater or top. I'm not sure what it is. On her shirt, just to start getting some definition on the edges. It's actually lighter. It should be better. So now we can do some highlights on the shirt. All right. Well, I have the pink ready. Let's do some highlights on the glasses. I need to go with a smaller brush to get this rim light. Yeah, man. Let me know. I should be technically reopening commissions end of October, November. I want to do them in small bursts. I don't want to end up with like an 8 month waiting list again. But yeah, let me know when you want what you want. Dazzler. All right. Dazzler's fun to do. So I want more sheen on the lenses of the glasses. So I'm doing like pure white highlights here. Disco, disco, baby. That's right. Think you need a little bit more separation between the lenses and the frame of the glasses. So this part of our head of our glasses needs to be darker because it really should be in shadow. I'm just going to hit the outer rim with purple. Here as well because that should be casting shadow. I think that makes sense. Might hit it with some black later when I do the hair. All right, let's do our earring. Not much needs to be done here, just a little bit of shadowing. think the rest of the volume is going to come from the highlight. Let's have the dark red. Let's bring some detail to the lips. Sure why I'm struggling so much to get the detail here. Okay, let that settle. And do the core shadows on the glove. I already have it blocked in from the original watercolor underpainting, so I'm just with a stronger pigment to just define a little better. This is just not much to it. Let's see how that's in. See the mid blue. And let's go lighter blue. This is the most important part because this is where I'm defining the actual hard edge of the hand. So I have to work in very delicate strokes to make sure I get a nice blend going inwards, but a hard edge on the outside of the hand. But essentially, what I'm doing is just painting cylinders. To maintain some glossiness to the gloves. Just gonna darken the main shadow a little more. Get rid of a little bit of the water artifacts as well. really don't want to introduce any black anywhere except the hair. Not right now, anyways. Once the hair is blocked in or blacked in, um, and I get a better sense of the balance, the dark and light balance on the image, I might need to go in a couple of spots and darken a little bit with black, but not at this point. This is actually just purple. It's a mixed purple. It's the red from the lips and the blue. The base blue for the gloves. So there's a consistent color palette. All right, so now I'm gonna start adding the rim on the glove in an even lighter blue. So it's still my light blue, but now I'm gonna start mixing in some white. And while I'm sure most people don't really care what I'm doing, I got nothing else to talk about, so I'm just gonna keep on providing commentary on my choices. I'm envisioning that her little power blast things come from inside her palm, so I'm really only adding the super highlights to the inside of the hand and wherever they would be reflecting on the gloves, so the tips of her fingers and stuff like that. I'm gonna have to fix that little blip there. Definitely gonna go lighter, but not everywhere. Oh, we all care. What is the largest commission you have done? 11 by 17, which is not quite done yet, but should be done this week. That's the largest I've done so far. Um, and that's an alternate or variant cover for Roadkill Rampage 2 from Haslam Productions. That's Rodney Fike's company, publishing company, I guess, brand. So that's going to be ready. Should be done. Knock on wood this upcoming week. There's not much left to do. I just need to figure out how to do smoke the way I want and envision it. Definitely shared that when it's ready. Um, I was gonna work on it on stream, but it's so big that I don't really have the setup to actually be able to fit it in the frame. So I am enjoying working larger though. Um, The 5x7s that I've done recently and some of the larger things have just been a little easier to work with, having more canvas space. So I'm really looking forward to getting started on some sketch covers. These are essentially 6x9, right? Yeah, I'm always open to suggestions, ideas. You know where to find me. To be perfectly honest, I don't know how to price things that size, but I'll figure it out. I gotta say, the biggest challenge in working larger, especially at that size, like 5x7, not so much, but like 6x9 or 8x12 or 11x17, is I'm so accustomed to mixing just a little bit of paint for a sketch card that it took a little bit of getting used to, like, hey, you're gonna need more than a pea-sized dab of paint to cover all of that. So that's been a nice learning experience. And then the next sketch card I did after I did a large piece, I ended up mixing way too much paint that I really don't need. So, and I got to find a nice median balance in between. John, go ahead. I'm counting. I'll take 500,000 million suggestions. So, I don't know if anybody catch the stream on Friday with Gordon and J5. My buddy Jay has, I guess it's a claim sale. I'm not sure exactly what kind of sale it is, but commission claim sale, maybe? Um, Going on tonight at 8 p.m. EST for some sketch covers, I believe. I think I'd be more prepared and better informed before I start promoting somebody's sale. Um, but I'll drop the link in the comments in a second if anyone's interested. Jay is a phenomenal artist and a very funny individual. 500,000 million of converting from Canadian, it's like three. Exactly. um, realize you're talking about US currency. I were talking about Canadian. Let me find the link for Jay's thing, and I'll pop it in the comments. Yeah, it's a sketch cover sales event, and here's the. No, 1 second. What am I doing here? Where's the proper link? There we go. Let's try this again. There's the link. Hopefully that works. It is a sketch cover sales event. Order your own custom sketch cover at an affordable price. Add color for a minor upcharge. Purchase at a discount for a selection of ready-made covers. Fantastic deals on exclusive comics and incredible giveaways. Don't miss out. That's Locked and Loaded Comics tonight at 8 p.m. EST with JE5. There. Hey, Christos, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Catching the tail end of the stream today. But it's been very productive. Making great progress on this Jubilee card. Cool, Kevin. Well, thanks so much for tuning in, man. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and yeah, we'll catch up later. Just can't expect everyone to spend 4 hours watching me push paint on paper on Sundays. Yeah, might be overworking the hand a bit. Okay, let's make that ball blue. That one blue as well. this one purplish. Let's make this one purplish. We want some green in here. I guess I'll change my mind about the colors of these balls, but I just want to make sure I don't lose them and the yellows to get lost. So. All right, but see, now that I got the white going on the gloves, I can start adding the really bright highlights on her jacket. Yeah, what are we on? 232. Well, wrap it up soon. It's also time to decide what I'm doing with the background. Doctor Strange. Yeah, it's the glowing gloves, right? It's really kind of systematic to do the glowing gloves. Actually, probably looks like a lot of Doctor Strange ones and Phoenix. If it ain't break, don't fix it. That's right. It works. It gets the idea across. It's pretty obvious that there's a glow on the outside. So, till somebody complains. All right, gotta take this opportunity to remind everyone to like, share, subscribe to the channel, to the page if you like what you're seeing. Tell your friends, tell your cousins. Tell your cousin to get off the roof. If you have a clown cousin. Tell you, come on, cuz, get out of that suit before it gets heat stroke. I miss Bernie Mac. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to darken the some of the shadows on her jacket. To highlight to the earring. Whoop! Shoot, man down. All right, we're good. We're good. Nothing broke. Yeah. I think the last thing I'm going to do, what are we, 240? Oh, sorry, 250. Is the thing I'm going to do today is just darken up the shadows on this side of, on her right side of her collar. By adding a touch of purple. That should do it. It'll also cool off the shadows a little bit because it's a little warm. Hope this works. Not sure how it's going to behave over the underpainting, but yeah, it's actually lighter. But that's fine because it will darken it in a second. Add a similar. Maybe a little darker. There we go. A little more contrast, give a little more form. I think I'm gonna have to add a little bit of black. I'm sure once I get the black of the hair in there, this is gonna look muted. So just give it another pass of purple. Use a touch of purple to darken up a couple areas. And we'll see exactly how much darker I need to go once I get the hair in place. That's all gonna get a dark. Honestly, she looks good with white hair as Grandma Jubilee. Yeah, that wasn't the request though, so unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with more traditional look. See, I might not need to go full black with her hair, but definitely not going to go as a block of black. Uh, but I'm going to have to get much darker in the hair area. I just go with a very, very dark purple. It'll keep the warmth of the whole piece so far. And probably maintain more subtle contrast. Adding a touch of purple to the shadows on her skin as well. I got maybe another 10 minutes and I'll wrap it up for today. I think 3 hours is long enough. But I'm very pleased with the way this is coming together. Pretty sure the owner of this commission, Diablo for 2 hour for Diablo 2 for 13 hours straight when the beta dropped. Ha! It's funny, I read Diablo as something else at first. That game was addictive. That's for sure. Another word, John, that starts with DI, ends with O. And there's a D in there and an L. Not sure if I should be concerned that I thought of it or the fact that it didn't phase me at all that you would have put that kind of comment in there. Oh, I absolutely knew what you were getting at. Okay. Like, all right. Well, thanks for sharing. I don't know. Her eyes are supposed to be brown, but I add a little purple to it, anyways. Use the purple to darken the glasses a bit. Gonna have to hit you up later and tell you about something sort of fun related to that. Okay. You know where to find me. Actually, very much looking forward to hearing that story. Almost okay. 4 more minutes. Let me do a highlight on the lips. Oops. That's not a good play. All right, I think I'm gonna call that a wrap for today. Very, very happy with my efforts today. Yeah, I'm happy with how far along this has come. She's very close to being. Hey, Jay, what's going on? Yeah, right at the end. Um, there she is so far. I think what's left is really I got to block in the hair. We'll see exactly how dark that's going to go. Probably not black, just really dark purple. Um, and then we'll see how that balances off the rest of the colors. Um, then add some effects to the glowing balls and final highlights. Key in the eye. So maybe an hour left. I'll try to stream tomorrow afternoon and wrap her up. We'll see how my day goes. Um, but yeah, that's it for me for now. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your Sunday. Hope you had a great weekend. And yeah, we'll catch you next time. Stay frosty.